Hey guys, I have a very interesting video today. I'm actually going to be talking about the Garden of Eden and giving you a different approach to it than I actually gave in previous videos. So I'm not saying I believe this is true, but I'm saying it's a new way of seeing the Garden of Eden story. Gives you a new perspective on Satan and stuff like this. Because people are here to ascend, we're here to grow and get closer and up to God. That's the direction we're going, up to God. What if Satan is the one who guides us instead of being the one who tricks us into sinning and ruining our lives? Because we have that in our GPS already, for the most part. So maybe instead of Satan being the one who gets us to try to sin, maybe Satan is the one who gets us to ascend and get us back on track. If we are not on track or when we need guidance, he kind of helps us, moves us along. So what's the story? The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. I guess that means all of their things that live there and stuff like that. So the Lord planted a garden in Eden in the east, and placed there the man who he formed, and eventually said, "It's not good for man to be alone." The Lord said, "You may eat of every tree, except for the tree in the middle of the garden." Wait, no, no, no. I think that's actually, well, that came before her creation. "Of every tree of the garden you are free to eat it," he said to Adam. "But as for the tree of knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat of it, for as soon as you eat of it, you shall die." So God said, don't eat of it, or else you'll die. And then Satan comes along, gets Eve to eat, and Adam to eat from it. But Satan is not some kind of opponent to God. God is the one who creates everything. He's the one and only God in this world, anywhere. And he made Satan, and he sent Satan to them because life is about ascending. Satan is a slave, a servant, an angel of the Creator. I don't think it says anywhere Satan is like, gonna be thrown into some lake of fire. I don't think it says that in the Tanakh. I don't know, but I don't think it does. So perhaps Satan is just a chosen angel that God sent to Adam and Eve to get them to actually eat from the tree of knowledge and start ascending, because the Garden of Eden is our roots. It's where we all started. And here we are ascending constantly. Now, it is true. Eve never got kicked out of the garden. Only Adam got kicked out of the garden. This to me says that only men are the ones ascending. Women are like staying back, guarding themselves. They're not really out there doing spiritual work for God. It's just that's how it is. And it seems as though when Satan said to Adam and Eve, "You must not eat from the tree of," or when Satan tried to convince Adam and Eve to eat, he was actually working for God, and he was saying, "Do not eat of it, or you will die." What's bad about dying? It doesn't say you're gonna descend or be punished. It just says you're gonna be starting to die. So the Garden of Eden is like the bottom of everything. I think it's as bad as hell. It's as low as hell is. Now hell is different. Sheol, like when you're in a promiscuous woman's home, you're in Sheol because your soul is dying. You're falling because essentially you're getting high. You're in the presence of this adulterous woman. It might feel good about her, but your soul hurts. Your soul is sinking. It's dying when in that kind of a situation. So Sheol to me is falling, and Garden of Eden is we were never in a lower spot than that, but we're constantly ascending because we started eating, we started dying, and that kicked off the journey into the worlds for our souls of ascension. Women don't ascend, they stay where they are. They never left the Garden of Eden. Read it for yourself. And the Lord God said, "Now that the man has become like one of us, knowing good and bad, what if he should stretch out his hand and also take from the tree of life and eat and live forever?" So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden till the soil from which he was taken. He drove the man out and stationed east of the Garden of Eden the cherubim and the fiery returning sword to guard the way to the tree of life. Never again will man take from the tree of life and not die, not be dying. Never will because the woman didn't get affected. Though she ate from that knowledge tree, she didn't get affected. This is truly a man's world after being God's world. But this doesn't mean men are the priority or exalted over women. It actually says that we're have it a little bit worse than them. They're chilling, we're ascending.